It is the final term of the year in a Stage 3 Year 6 classroom. Miss Craig has noticed students are becoming bored with the content and as a result are misbehaving. To combat this, Miss Craig has introduced a classroom dojo to manage students' behaviour. Initially, students were excited to create their own dojo character and behaviour improved. However, students are often distracted by their monsters ever present on the smartboard, and Miss Craig is struggling to constantly reward points for positive behaviour. As a result, classroom dojo is often used for negative reinforcement. Miss Craig only remembering the reward system where students are doing the wrong thing and not rewarding students who are doing the right thing. Imagine this. Renee is sitting at her desk working on her writing. Emma pokes her and makes a silly face, and both students laugh. Miss Craig then moves both their points down. Linda is frustrated with her reading and puts her head on the desk. Her points go down. A whole group of students are playing at the sink and making soap castles. Miss Craig moves the class points down. No doubt, some students will straighten up with the zaps. If some were tasing me, I sure would. Miss Craig has now changed the students' focus for how not to get zapped, rather than their reading, writing, science and math work.
Rewards are an important tool to use within the classroom as they are a method in which teachers can commemorate students' performance and positive behaviour. Rewards are seen as a high extrinsic motivation for students as it stimulates them to join in pedagogy and social learning experiences. Reward systems are constant and fair. It provides students with motivation and encouragement. Reward discourages behaviour you don't want as well as encourages behaviour you want. Rewards help teachers to observe the students' behaviour throughout the year, which then can be used as a tool for teacher-parent meetings and reports. Finally, rewards can also be used to increase self-esteem.
Rather than always being positive motivators, rewards can have negative effects rather than enhance self-motivation, curiosity, interest and persistence at learning tasks. For a student that is generally a hard-working, motivated learner, a system like Classroom Dojo can pull a student's attention away from the task. Students are being drawn away from their work to find out how many points they have gained or lost and how many others have. Even if the points are not being changed regularly, their attention is now divided. More often, rewards can stimulate jealousy and competition between children, as only certain children are rewarded for their behaviours and efforts. Students will begin to feel resentment, which they see their classmates as standing in the way of always achieving the prize. This will also turn the children against each other, and it is unlikely that they will assist each other in learning new material, as they are always competing for the prize. Rewards tend to deflect attention away from the actual reasons of problematic behaviour. Teachers seem to miss the signs and symptoms of behaviour as they are bribing them with rewards to be good. This strategy does not help the student develop pleasure from the activity or allow them to become actively involved in the lesson. Another negative aspect of the reward system is being the giver of rewards can damage relationships. This makes it visible that one person has the power over others, making the children feel intimidated and left out. This will in turn create hostile relationships and interactions between teachers and students.
Although we have found positive and negative reward systems within the use of ICT, we have found that there are more effective approaches within the class setting to manage student behaviour. For example, the teacher guides students in establishing their own achievable classroom expectations. The students nominate themselves for a reward with a reasoning behind it. It also can be suggested incorporating an individual token reward system to benefit the whole class by allowing individual students to choose to use their tokens to purchase whole class rewards. For example, it is important to remain consistent with goals at all grade levels and in all types of reward systems. This allows students to recognise the validity of the system. It also is important to involve students in the choice of rewards to ensure that they will be more motivated by the set rewards. Instead of trying to eliminate the behavioural issues through punishment, initiate a positive behaviour support plan. This consists of a series of steps such as identifying the purpose of challenging behaviour being presented in the classroom and removing or modifying the environmental conditions within their classrooms that trigger challenging behaviours in a number of ways. According to Strain and Hemeter, a classroom schedule that is well designed and implemented consistently may be the single most important factor in preventing challenging behaviours. Teachers who can develop or modify their routines to increase predictability will lessen anxieties and challenging behaviours for their students. Providing students with access to schedule enables them to be aware of upcoming tasks and expectations. Rather than focusing on rewards for motivating students' learning, it is important to focus more on how to facilitate in strict motivation, for example, by beginning from the student's perspective to develop more interesting learning activities, to provide more choice, and to ensure the tasks are optimally challenging. In these ways, we'll be more able to facilitate the type of motivation that has been found to promote creative tasks, engagement, cognitive flexibility, and conceptual understanding of learning activities. It is also important to determine the right reward. Make sure you have the right rewards. Training will have little effect without good reinforcer. Decide what the student, not you, views as the rewards. One person's preference is not the same as another's. Typical rewards include food, drinks, sensations as listening to music, materials such as stickers, badges, certificates, activities, and privileges. A good way to start is to ask the student what would be a reward for him or her. If the student is unable to verbalise, try offering several choices.
Through the information presented, we are encouraged to consider what strategies are most effective in managing behaviour in the classroom. Whilst the stage of learning and content needs to be considered, the student's individual needs are also significant influences on student behaviour. Thus, the way it is managed in the classroom. Although Ms. Craig recommends the need to introduce new behaviour management strategies such as Class Dojo, research suggests this can only be effective when consistently and positively enforced in the classroom.